Was I holding that long enough to look intelligent?
Republican Anthony Rogers has no previous political experience. Rogers, a comedian, is well known for a podcast called The Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey man, this is Tommy Chong, and right now you're listening to The Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey all you cool cats and kittens, it's Carol Baskin, and you are listening to The Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey, I'm out here fucking bitches though. Who are you? I'm out here getting riches though. Who are you?
The most listened to podcast of all my shows was the podcast where I interviewed best-selling author Jeff T. Bowles about the results of very high doses of D3 and how it can cure almost anything. In fact, his book on the subject is the best-selling book in the world about D3, and it's translated into 10 languages. Jeff recently wrote another book about COVID-19, which was called Nobody Had to Die from COVID-19. The book was banned by Amazon, Barnes & Noble. So what's he going to do? He wants to give you a free book as a PDF file. Like I said, for free. All you have to do is share it with your friends. Just send him an email at jeffvansn@gmail, and link in the description. So yeah, do that. Welcome back to the greatest show in the entire universe. Today we have a huge guest, like hilarious dude. I mean, I haven't met him personally, but his videos are hilarious. Jon from Jon Breaks Bad News. How you doing, man?
How you doing?
Good, man. Dude, you're like, if you're not familiar with this, I'll put some videos in the beginning or somewhere in there. But like this.
Hello.
Hi, is this Kate?
Yeah, who's calling?
Hi, my name is Jon from Jon Breaks Bad News. I have some bad news from Steven for you.
Okay.
Also, this phone call is being recorded for quality assurance. Listen, Steve wants you to know that you owe him $1,500 for the vet bills for that pussy he destroyed. Bow! Also, he needs to... You need to stop wearing adult diapers because it's gross and you shouldn't be sitting in your own piss so much. that one was funny.
This dude is hilarious. Like so basically, like your premise is like people call you or people like pay you to bring bad news to like people they don't want to say the bad news to, basically.
Well, I mean, pay is a funny word. I usually do it for free.
Oh, okay. That's what I didn't know if it was a business plan or what was going on. Yeah, no.
No, the idea was that, you know, like if I opened it up and made it free, more people would get me to use the, you know, hit me up to use the service, and then I could use the content to monetize that.
Okay.
You know?
That makes sense.
And so far that's not gone. So.
I wasn't asking if I could borrow some money. That was my next question. Like,
yeah.
But dude, no. So what is the worst? I've watched a lot of these. What is the worst reaction you've had from like telling somebody bad news? Like,
oh, I've had people like threaten to stab me. I just got an email from the what was it? It was a police station in Pennsylvania. Apparently, I called somebody and admitted to a crime for them, basically.
oh,
So, like,
that's crazy.
That just happened either this week or last week, and I don't know what the outcome is going to end up being, but I have a detective emailing me. So
yeah, your show's big enough, I guess, to get the range, like to where cops would check it out. I mean, it would totally make sense. I mean, you have a decent enough like pool and stuff. Like I could see how people would find that, like if they were detectives or whatever.
Yeah,
somebody probably reported it though.
I think there was a guy. I don't exactly know all the details, but it was like, tell this guy's dad that this girl's dad that I'm sleeping with his daughter. And I guess the dad is pissed about it.
Oh.
So I don't know what
you'll have that sometimes. So how did you get into this? Like what started this idea for you? Like,
well, back in 2019, I was doing this podcast called Master Haters. It was me, my girlfriend, and a group of friends, and the idea was we would all like bring in topics that we hate, and alongside that we were like writing skits and trying to figure out some stuff that we could do outside of just the podcast to help promote it. And one of the ideas that I had was like a doctor that was like bad at giving terminal prognosis, and we wrote a couple of sketches. We never filmed them or anything. But one night as I was editing the podcast, I was like, what if this guy was just to do it as like a business idea? And I created a Facebook page. I wrote a couple of ads that were like, have you ever had a situation where like you were watching your friend's family's dog, and then the dog ran out into the middle of the street and got ran over, so you had to go find a dog, but the dog didn't match up correctly, and you had to like paint a spot on the dog's eye, and then when the dog reunited with the family, this new dog reunites with the family, runs through sprinklers, and the paint falls off his eye, and then you have to tell them anyway that their dog is dead. Instead of doing all that, you could just contact me at jonbreaksbadnews@gmail.com, and I will tell them that their dog is dead for you. And so I wrote a bunch of stuff like that. And that got shared in like a bunch of meme groups and stuff like that. And then I had this picture of like a little kid crying in the background, and I was like, do you want me to like ruin your kid's hope of ever having a normal life? No, just told this kid that his parents were getting divorced. Was what was the bad news that I broke to the kid. And so it was like, if you want me to crush any sense of love or hope in the world for your kid, hire me at Jon Breaks. And that blew up immediately. People started sharing that around the internet, and that went pretty viral. And then I started doing the calls on as videos. And at first it was just like my girlfriend filming me calling them, and I didn't have like a real setup or anything like that. And we did that for a little while. Those blew up, and that gained a lot of traction. And then the pandemic hit, and I just kind of like let the idea fall to the wayside a bit. And then I got on TikTok, and that's where a lot of people have found me now, is on TikTok.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, your TikTok's blowing up, man. I seen this on like YouTube a while ago, I think. You've been doing this for a second, right?
Yeah. I've been doing this since 2019.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You said that. Okay. Yeah. No, it's. I think the idea is hilarious, man. I'll binge those sometimes and just like watch a bunch of them in a row, and like just like I'm killing time or something. Like, dude, they're fucking funny, man. You got a good thing going with that, to be honest, man.
Yeah, I think it's funny. A lot of people seem to think it's funny. Sometimes people don't think it's so funny. Like, I've been threatened.
Like the people that want to stab you probably don't think you're hilarious, right?
Yeah, no, they don't think it's very funny.
That's crazy to think about. But that's what happens when you put yourself in the public eye. People are nuts no matter what. It's like,
yeah, it doesn't bother me. Like, I knew that was gonna like throughout my entire life, I've been the type of person that like is pretty like, I'll say what I need to say. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna mince words for people to make them feel better. I'm just gonna say what needs to be said, and then people don't like that a lot of times.
Yeah, they only like the truth when it like fits in line with their narrative or like belief system.
Exactly.
It seems like, and you seem like a big dude. Like, who the fuck's threatening to stab you? like, are you like 6? You look like you're like 6 foot or something. Like, I don't know.
No, I'm like 5'9". I'm like average height and fat as shit. I'm not a fighting guy. I'm definitely like I get my ass kicked way more than I kick ass.
Oh, you look bigger. Okay, I thought you were like a bigger dude. I'm like, that was making me laugh. Like, people threatening to stab you. Like, this guy, you look like a bar fighter or some shit. Like
I'm a bar get your ass kicked guy. Like I just it's happened a few times where I've been just left laying in parking lots in piles of snow, like just bleeding out. People find me. And I'm like, what happened? I was like, I called that guy a bitch.
Truth hurts, man. Like, so where did I guess what was your first episode like?
What was the first episode of the Jon Breaks Bad news show? Like,
yeah. What was
like
what was the first started... person like you had to tell the bad news? And what was the situation? Do you remember that?
Oh, the first person was it was a girl wanted me to tell her boyfriend that she's been cheating on him and she didn't want to be in the relationship anymore. And that clip is on YouTube. It's like I have like a shorts playlist, I guess that's what they're called, right?
Something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And it's like one of the first ones on there. That one got picked up by Lad Bible, and they they ran with it. They made a little, like, I guess, viral video with that. And it was just like, and the kid just seemed like heartbroken. I felt bad. I did kind of feel bad, but not, it. They sounded young. They'll get over it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I was explaining this to my mom and my wife at different times. Like I was telling them about the podcast I was doing, and I was like, yeah, he just like breaks like really bad news. And my mom like thought it meant like deaths and shit. Oh, your grandma died. Like, I'm like, no, not that bad. Like 20-year-olds breaking each other's hearts. And she goes, oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's like how I summed it up to my mom. But I was trying to explain it to her. And then my wife was like, at a different time, my wife was like, you should tell people good news. It's hilarious.
Why would you? Number one, that doesn't even make it. The good news thing, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, everybody loves to be the guy that's like, oh, you won $1 million.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
that's what you said. Everybody wants to tell them their own good news. That's what she's telling. She goes, everybody wants to do that, but it would be nicer. It would be nicer if you just did good. It just made me laugh. I mean, she's such a sweet lady. But it just like made me laugh. Like, hey, I just wanted to tell you this is Jon Breaks Good News. Like, hey, you look great today.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know.
Yeah, your husband wanted me to let you know that you look okay today. The diet's working.
So I don't know why that premise was so funny to me when she said that. I was just like starting to laugh. You're like, you already have a funny premise, like just like I don't like the the criticism on it just made me laugh. Like, no, you should just do good news. I don't know why that made me laugh so hard when she told me that. Like, that's like, where do you see this going? This could be big. I mean, it already is. I mean, really, but I mean, like, it could be like Matt. You could be like a household name like Mari or something. If this, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's kind of like what I'm, like I do the live streams on Monday afternoons, and then Tuesday nights I do live streams where people, like the emails that I get throughout the week, I call them live on the live stream, and that's growing, and it's becoming like, with people like finding me on TikTok and then finding me on other platforms. That's where it's kind of heading, where I'm like taking the clips and I'm putting the clips onto, it's like feeding itself, like the people find me on TikTok, and then I do the calls on the YouTube channel, and then I take clips from those YouTube streams and I put them back on TikTok, and then, it feeds itself like that. And basically I'm just like, I'm hoping that at some point I can find, the idea was, especially back in 2020, before the pandemic happened, I wanted to do like more man on the street kind of stuff, where I would, travel with it and go and like pretty much like do a show where I'd meet up with the person that wants me to deliver the bad news, and then go to the person that they want me to deliver it to and film it and do it live in person. That's what but with the pandemic happening, that all kind of fell to the wayside. And then I had to figure out how I could do this with this new shit that's going on now, where it's like going up, being a stranger and getting in somebody's face is not an appropriate thing to do. It's not something that I think would be funny. With the world opening up now, maybe we'll revisit that.
You should do it with a hazmat suit. Like, you just you come in like a spaceman. You're like, oh, by the way, the love of your life wants to straight up break your heart.
Exactly.
Just rip her heart out and fucking like trying to figure out a way to eat it inside the spacesuit.
But that's what I'm hoping for in the near future. But for now, I'm happy just like growing the channels and.
Without sponsors like vodka coffee, this show wouldn't exist. And you're hearing this because you need to realize how important quality, fresh, roasted coffee beans are, not pre-ground coffee. You need to understand how important it is. So go to vodkacoffee.com and check out some of their coffee. Get some for yourself. It's worth it. Trust me.
Doing the live streams, I have a lot of fun with those. And we do like other stuff during them too. It's like, it works out to be kind of like a podcast. And then in the, like every segment we do like 3 or 4 calls, like we talk about something, and then we, get back to doing the calls, which everybody is there for.
No, it seems like you got a good machine gun, man. Like you got a good concept, and like there's always gonna be material for this because like what you just like you post on something like who has some bad news, you know?
Yeah,
it's just and everyone's got bad news apparently right now.
yeah. I just all I do is like in the description of the videos on TikTok, I just add my email and like if you want me to call somebody for you, shoot me an email. And right now I'm sitting on like a couple hundred of them that I can't keep up with it. It moves too fast.
That's funny about podcast. No, I have the same problem with podcasts. I'm like a little kid. I'll just like interview everybody that sounds awesome. Like, yeah, I just really like how I reached out to you. Like these videos are fucking hilarious. I need to get this guy on here. And I'll do that and I'll stack episodes. And then like people are just like, when's it come out? I'm like, oh shit. Like soon.
I gotta edit these. That's the worst part. Editing sucks.
It is.
Editing is the most boring thing that you could possibly do is sit down and like watch your own shit that you've already just done.
Dude, yeah, and getting an editor is bad too because they don't have the vision. So you can if you talk somebody into editing for you, they probably don't have the vision.
Yeah,
like, that's what sucks. That's what sucks.
I don't want like one of the complaints that I get is like that like my camera quality isn't the highest and the video quality, and it's like that's kind of on purpose. It's supposed to be bad. Everything that I like, it's supposed to be like just some fucking schmuck that's like trying to do, you know, like, and that's like what I am. I don't know how to edit video. I don't know how to make things look good. I don't know how to make them sound particularly good. I've gotten better at it over the last couple of years doing it and like just like learning, picking up new skills here and there. But the premise of this was it's a psychopath. You know, it's a guy who's like just kind of lost his mind and is now offering this like very specific skill to the public and he's doing it for free, you know, like he's, you know, like I'm not charging people to break bad news for them. That would be very silly in my opinion.
I thought that was your business plan. Like when I first saw like what you're doing, I'm like, are people just like this? I thought you just put out ads or something like for like $20 or something, or like something cheap, like, and like just like nickel and dime people. Like I don't know, maybe that's just how I view the internet. But like no, but I mean I think it's I mean selling content's probably smarter. Like what do you do? That way you get way more content, and that's why you sit on 100 episodes instead of like looking for content.
Exactly.
Makes sense. You have a better like podcast voice than I do, so I feel like you have the podcast right now, and I'm like on your show. You have like way more of a radio voice, like, and then like I'll have these. Do you have a lot of this too? Like I'll have these like my friends like or like someone like crypto rich or whatever that means, and like they'll be like, man, I'll buy you a new camera, man. Like your camera just like I'm like dude, like I don't give a fuck about a camera. Like buy a billboard or something, you know? So I don't give. I mean like,
yeah, I'd rather the reach be there than the content be like pretty. I'm not a pretty guy. I'm a big, fat, ugly guy with long hair and a big, greasy beard. It's like that's the brand. Is just
that's the brand. I love
just a thin layer of Vaseline on everything.
That's funny, dude. And yeah, but people like only like I noticed only like audio nerds and like video nerds really care about the quality. Everybody else is just like wanting to laugh, have fun, watch whatever. Like one of these bands I had on there, like they'd be like, man, I don't know if that quality was good. I'm like, dude, everyone's quality sucks. It doesn't matter. People are listening to it on some shitty fucking phone and like at the fucking third world sometimes. Like,
yeah,
it just doesn't fucking, you know, it's
like, don't get me wrong. If you're doing like, there is a space for like highly produced. Look, I was on another podcast a while ago and they were like, what's your advice to people who like want to create stuff? And I'm like, just do it. Do it with the bare minimum that you have. If it's good, people will either invest their time or their money in you. And then you can figure out how to make your shit look the way that you wish it would look. Totally, you know, true. Like, but just get the bones of it down and just do it, because like there's so much garbage content on there. 90% of the time that you go, like if you're on TikTok and you're scrolling through TikTok, it's like a dude, like it's just some dude like biting his lower lip and like messing his hair around, and that has 700,000 fucking views and 110,000 fucking likes. But like, and then you look at the comments and people hate the guy. You know, like they're like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? But then there's like, you know, like, and then there's like people who are just genuinely funny, and like those people, you know, it's a slower role for them, but if they're charismatic enough and they're good enough and they continue to do it, they will grow. And that's like, I got very lucky that there was nobody doing what I was doing in on the internet. Like there's, you know, obviously prank phone call guys, but nothing that specifically had like the fan interaction, like interaction with the people that are consuming the content, where it's like, you can email me and I will do what you ask me to do. And there's nothing like that out there. It's like and that's what I think really got my content over, was the fact that there was an interaction between like the guy who's creating the shit and then like the people that are watching it. I
think that's a good point. I think so. What helped Joe Rogan was his like YouTube stuff, like he was doing. I think that helped him a lot. Man, I had a good question. I forgot though. Like, was there anything that like that you were just like you won't do? Like if someone called you up and like there's one you said no to or something.
If it's like if it is outwardly illegal, like if it's like threatening somebody, or like I got an email and it was like this guy had written a poem that was like, I'm gonna murder, pretty much like the onus of the poem was like, I want to murder this person. Can you call them and read them this poem? And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not.
Yeah, that would be nuts.
like that's you want me to commit a crime and I can't do that. Sorry. But other than that, like there hasn't been anybody, like there's been such psychotic things that are like, this is illegal and if I do this I'll get in trouble. And then like the other end of the spectrum is like, it's usually pretty tame. It's like, call my friend and tell him his car is slow. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. There's those crazy things, but they're the middle where it's like, can you tell my cousin my grandmother has died? Like our grandma's dead. I haven't gotten many of those.
Yeah, like I just pictured the episode that you said no to, like, hey, it's John from Jon Breaks Bad News. I'd like to tell you that your friend Ryan wants to kill you. Yeah. Like how fucking crazy that would be. Like
it would be fun. I wish I could do it. I wouldn't say I could. But it's a crime.
Yeah.
I can't be on the internet committing actual crimes.
Just like picture the person's like reaction, like, yeah, your friend just wants to murder you. He said he just had enough.
The other thing is like when people get on the live streams and if they send me an email while they're watching the stream, I try to like get them done while they're there. And there's been people that are like, keep calling them. And I'm like, I can't, that's harassment, man. I can't call them 9 times. Like I can't, they didn't pick up, or they picked up and they hung up on me because they didn't want to hear your dumb bullshit. And
yeah.
And I'm not going to keep calling them. That's harassment. They can do something about that if I continue to call them.
No, I think that's good boundaries to have, like American laws.
Yeah.
It's good boundaries for any show to have, I think.
If you want me to call out of the country and break laws, I'll do that all day. That's fine. Fine by me.
They'll never catch you.
I'm out of their jurisdiction.
It's cool seeing you blow up too. I think, like I said, I came across this like a while ago before I like had a podcast and stuff. Like I thought I saw this at one point, and like I remember tearing through them at one, like binge. He's like, your kind of stuff you almost want to binge watch. You almost want to watch like a couple of them because they're just like, it's like, I don't know, it's like that.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, and then TikTok's a great platform for it, and like that's how I found you again. Is I just tear through TikTok all day, and like and then I'm like, when I find something that makes me laugh, like holy fuck, I gotta like reach out to this person, like see if like he's like your shit's hilarious on there, man. Like it's really good content. And I think that I think it's only gonna continue to get bigger at this point, and like you should make this a TV show or something.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I would love to. I've been reached out to by like production companies before, and it didn't go anywhere. And it's like they're looking for other stuff that's very specific. You know, they're looking for stuff that's very specific. You know, like
Marvel movies.
Yeah, pretty much.
I got this idea. We're gonna turn this into a Marvel comic book. That's how I picture producers. They have no fucking idea what people want, you know. And like, you just figured it out. I think you stumbled on something that's like huge. I think this is there's a huge need for like this in pop culture. I mean, like Jerry Springer Maury type. It's like basically like
all that stuff's gone, right? Like that's not on TV anymore, right?
Yeah, Steve Wilkos is. You're right. Yeah,
I think that's the last thing though.
Yeah,
and even that's fake. You know, like that stuff is all produced.
Yeah. So you're hitting like a niche that, I mean, like we've needed, like, or we've wanted since like at least the 90s as human beings, like this like tabloid kind of like junk food kind of entertainment. Like, but I'm not to downplay it, but I mean, just I think there's a huge need for that. And I think it's very funny still. Like, no, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean.
No, you're not downplaying it all. This is like, you know, like I make no bones about this is garbage content for garbage people. Like what I do is trash. It's trash. There's no redeeming value to it. I don't want it to have redeeming value. I mean, like occasionally, like you know, like you have a human moment with somebody, and that's organic. But like for the most part, this is like it's insult comedy. I'm no better than that fucking dog, Triumph the insult comic dog, and at least that guy had a puppet and knew how to use a puppet. You know, like I'm one step below that. I have no talent other than being a jerk on the internet.
Dude, I'm gonna cut it on that because that's fucking hilarious. Like make the episode end on that. Like that's the last thing you said, if that's cool. And then do you want to do like I'm John with Jon Breaks Bad News? You're listening to the Anthony Rogers show for like the beginning.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. And roll whenever I can crop it and cut it.
All right. This is John from Jon Breaks Bad News, and you're listening to the Anthony Rogers show.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Let me tell you about this subscription box from Hamper Co. Every month you get a new box shipped to your house. $100 value for $39.99. You get your cleaning essentials, your smoking essentials, and a new piece.